Well, today we wrap up the Gospel of Luke, reading chapters 19 through the end, through chapter 24. It's a dramatic week of readings. We see Jesus get to Jerusalem, and this is the climax of all of his work, his mission, all of his teaching, and it's quite a week of readings. He gets to Jerusalem and he weeps over it. Why does he weep over it? We read it in verse 44 of chapter 19. Because they missed the time of their visitation from God. This is the closest time in the Gospel of Luke where Jesus identifies himself with God. He says to them, when I came to Jerusalem, when I was here, this was God in person, and you missed it. And he weeps over it. There's some dramatic actions in this week of readings. There's dramatic big parables about how when we have been given gifts, talents, pounds to invest in the kingdom of God, how we got to do that. But then we also see, Jesus' end, his death, his crucifixion, and all that goes with it. We see his resurrection. And the resurrection stories in the Gospel of Luke are my personal favorite. I talked about these last Sunday, actually. Those two disciples on the road to Emmaus. And then that section at the end when all the disciples are together and Jesus kind of bursts into the room and tells them what this is all about. This is the whole story of Scripture is a story. It's about me. It points to me. It leads to me. And he says in that, starting with verse 46 of that last chapter, thus it is written, like in all the Scriptures, that the Messiah is to suffer and rise from the dead on the third day, and repentance and forgiveness of sins is to be proclaimed in his name to all nations, beginning with Jerusalem. And that's their job. That's our job. And then he says this in verse 48, you are witnesses of these things. You are witnesses. A witness is someone who knows something, who has seen something, who has experienced something, and so they can share it with their words, with their lives, with their actions, with who they are. A witness knows something, sees it, experiences it, so that they can share it. And this is exactly what Scripture does to us. This is what Scripture makes us. It makes us his witnesses, people who know, see, and experience God, experience Jesus, so that we can share him with the world around. I talked about this yesterday during the sermon, how Scripture informs us, right? Makes us his witnesses, and it forms us, it transforms us, so that we can go and share, we can go and live like it. This is exactly what it does. Scripture makes us his witnesses. So that's the end of the Gospel of Luke. But the good news is Luke didn't stop writing, because he wrote a second book. It's called Acts. It's all about what happens after Jesus rises from the dead and the movement that he started, of which we are still a part, and which, as you heard yesterday, we still have a part to play. And so that all begins in the book of Acts, starting, the week after this one. Happy reading.